Hey guys, it's Sarah and I am here today to talk about my 2017 July book haul, and I'm going to go back and watch that and let you know where I am as far as all those books. So whether I've read them, if I still have them but I haven't read them yet, if I've unhauled them, if I've read them, like all the things. And I'm going to let you know where my status is on that, and then at the end of the video I will pick one book that I haven't read yet, and I will put it on my TBR for this year. Alright, so last year I hauled 8 books, and the first 4 were all books that were sent to me for review, and a couple of them I've read, a couple of them I haven't. The first one is What She Ate by Laura Shapiro. This is one that I did read. It is a nonfiction, and it is a collection of short stories written about women who had something to do with food in their lives, something they were very passionate about, and how it kind of affected their lives. And it was fine. I think I only gave it 3 stars. I read most of the short stories. The last one I could not stomach, so I stopped reading the last one. And it was about, I don't even remember her name, but it was about someone who was the editor of Cosmopolitan magazine, I think back in the 50s or 60s, and just the first probably 4 or 5 pages of the story was all about how she was such a proponent of being skinny and regardless of what you eat, and she barely ate anything, and it was so unhealthy. I couldn't stomach it and I couldn't finish the story. It was just the message, her message to women, and she's producing this magazine, is be skinny no matter what, and I couldn't handle it. So that one really drug it down for me, and I didn't finish it, but I really did enjoy one about Eleanor Roosevelt. I really enjoyed that one. And then I also really enjoyed one about, I can't remember her name, she was Hitler's girlfriend. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but that one was very interesting too. So yeah, I read it, enjoyed some of them, didn't enjoy some of them, and I have since unhauled it. Next one that I hauled is one that was sent to me from Flatiron Books, and that is 13 Minutes by Sarah Pinborough. And this one I did read as well. I really enjoyed this book, guys. I enjoy Sarah Pinborough and her writing. And this one is a young adult thriller book, and it follows a young girl who ends up in an icy river, and she wakes up without a lot of knowledge of what happened. So she knows she wasn't suicidal, and she knows that it wasn't an accident. So somebody pushed her into this icy river trying to kill her, but she ends up surviving, and she's trying to piece together who did what, and you know, who can she trust, and all these things. So I really did enjoy this one, and I think I ended up giving this one 4 stars from what I remember, but yeah, I really liked it. This next one was sent to me by Entangled Teen, and that is Omega by Jess Sicardo. This is book number 2 in a trilogy. I now have all 3 books, and I have not read any of the 3 books. So this is a trilogy. It's completed now, and I have all 3. I was actually just sent the last one, so I need to read this trilogy, and I would like to actually do that this summer and then do a trilogy review for you. So I'm going to be pulling these off my shelves and putting them on my nightstand so I can go ahead and get started on these. But these are young adult sci-fi books from what I'm understanding, and the first one is called Infinity, the second one is called Omega, the third one is called Alpha, and I need to get on these for sure. But Entangled Teen did send these to me, and I really, really appreciate it. The next one that I hauled is called Frankie, and it's by Siobhan Plazo, and this is actually one that I just unhauled and I did not read it. It's something that was sent to me unsolicited. I did not ask for it. I wasn't contacted about it. It was just sent to me. So it wasn't one that I felt pressured to read, and it's just not a story that I think I was interested in reading in general, so I just went ahead and unhauled it. The next one that I hauled is one that I picked up, I think at Walmart one day. I just kind of got a wild hair and wanted to get a book from Walmart, and I picked this one up, and I read it last year, and it is now one of my favorite books of all time, and that is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This was my favorite book of last year, hands down. Again, it's in my top 5 books of all time. I absolutely love this story. It was beautiful. It was heartbreaking. It was just so good. It's a World War II historical fiction that follows 2 sisters who are living in Nazi-occupied France, and the different roles that they ended up taking in this wartime situation. They are very opposite personalities, and you see how they deal with what's happening around them. And it was beautiful. And I want to read this again one day, probably over and over. It's so gorgeous, and I recommend it to everybody always. Next one that I hauled is another book that is a second in a series, and that is Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. This is book number 2 in the Reckoners trilogy, and I read the first book, which is Steelheart. I read that last year and really enjoyed it. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And so Firefight is book number 2, and I haven't read it yet, but I want to. Another book that's part of a series that I haven't even started yet, that's Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith. I picked this up on Book Outlet because it actually was in stock, and I had been having this on my wish list for quite a while, and it was never in stock, and then one showed up in stock one day and I randomly found it and grabbed it as soon as I could. And this is book number 3 in her Comoran Strike series, which I believe is a detective series, and I've heard really, really good things about the series in general, and I really want to give it a try and see what I think. I have the first 3 books, and I think book number 4 is going to be coming out sometime. I know it has a title, and I believe she's working on it. I just don't know if it has a publication date yet, but book number 4 is in the works at least. So I should really get on reading this so I know if I want to read the entire thing. But Robert Galbraith is the pen name for J.K. Rowling, so she is writing these books under a pen name, and I've just heard amazing things about it, so I'm excited to give it a try. The last book that I hauled, I don't know what category to put this in. I've read it, but I haven't. And that's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in the Ravenclaw House Edition, the hardback that has the cute little stripes that looks like the house scarves on the side. So technically I've read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, but I haven't read this edition of it, so I don't know if it counts or not. So I've read it, but I haven't, but I have, but I haven't. So it's very interesting. But the next time I do read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, I will read from this edition. I'm just not, you know, I'm ready to read book 4 next in my reread. So, but the next time that I do read it, which I'm sure I will one day, I will read it from this edition, but it is still on my shelf. It's gorgeous. It's part of my collection and I love it. The second book in the series, The Chamber of Secrets, are coming out in the house editions now, and I don't know if I'm going to collect the entire series like that or not. I probably won't. I'll probably just keep this one and let it be this and that's it. But they are coming out with the Chamber of Secrets in these house editions now. So if you're interested in collecting those are now available. But I think I'm just gonna stick with the first one, at least for now. All right, so yes and no. All right, so my pick for my TBR this year from this haul revisit was kind of like, I only really have one choice because I've either read them or they are part of a series, but I'm not ready to read those yet because I haven't read the first part of those series yet. But there is one that's part of a series that I am ready to read this one. This is the next one that I need to read. So Firefight by Brandon Sanderson is going on my TBR for this year. And I'm excited about this because then I can also grab the third one and, you know, finish out this trilogy. It's only a trilogy and the third one is out, so it's ready to go. I just need to find the paperback copy so that my set matches, because I was really surprised at how much I really enjoyed these, and I think it would probably be a series that I'm interested in keeping on my shelves, at least for now, you know, after reading the first one. So we'll see how this one and the next one go, and then I'll decide if I want to keep them on my shelves or not. But yeah, so this one is going on my yearly TBR now. All right, guys, that is it for my haul revisit for the month of July from 2017. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books and what your thoughts were, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.